Protesters rallied for the resignation of Manitoba Cabinet Minister Nahanni Fontaine on Wednesday, the day after her constituency office was firebombed. Roughly 50 people came out to the Manitoba legislature. Some said Fontaine doesn't advocate for everyone in Manitoba. Protester Colin Watson is a former Canadian Armed Forces crewman. He's also a politician with the People's Party of Canada. He read messages between him and Fontaine from earlier this year.
She replies saying, "Take a deep breath, little guy." Oh, is that how you talk to your ex-military? Is that how you talk to Métis, wounded ex-military folks that serve their country?
The Nahanni Must Go rally was planned after Fontaine shared a post from an Instagram user last month. The post condemned American right-wing activist Charlie Kirk the day after he was assassinated. An online petition calling for her removal currently has just under 10,000 signatures. A couple dozen counter-protesters showed up to support Fontaine.
Every fiber in my body just willed me to be here.
Casey Abraham says there is a strong political divide in the province.
Especially with Nahanni's office being burned and Bernadette's being damaged the days before. That just proves how much divide there is in this province, and it shouldn't be that way.
One protester tried to speak with the Fontaine supporters ahead of the rally speeches, but was met with turned backs. Speaker Max Gnest referred to Fontaine as evil and directed his anger towards her supporters interrupting the rally.
These people are freaks. What you're seeing here is uncivilized, barbaric behavior. Do you hear that microphone screeching? That's some lady yelling into a mic. What is that behavior? That is beyond unhuman.
Barb Guimond, a longtime advocate for missing and murdered Indigenous people, sat between both sides. She says she doesn't agree with the views of the Nahanni Must Go rally, but does believe Fontaine isn't fit for the ministerial position.
I don't condone hate, I don't condone violence, I don't condone the fact that her building was destroyed. But Nahanni should work with all people. And she has been ignoring the families that she's supposed to be working for. And she doesn't. And she says she's inclusive, but she's not. She leaves out certain families from MMIW. And yes, I believe she should sit down.
Inside the legislative building, Premier Wabkanu called the Nahanni Must Go protesters, quote, goofballs. He says the attacks against Fontaine and MLA Bernadette Smith's offices seem targeted.
Recently, there was a protest outside of my constituency office. It was 300 people, I think one of the outlets reported, but nobody thought to light a match. So it does seem like there's a gender angle at work here. And, this happening on September 30th, this happening to the first two Indigenous women appointed to Manitoba's cabinet, it seems like there's an Indigenous angle to this as well.
There is no known correlation between the Nahanni Must Go protesters and the vandalism affecting Smith and Fontaine. Early Thursday, Fontaine spoke out about the firebombing for the first time at an unrelated event.
It's not something that's just over in a couple of days. This is something that we're going to carry with us for the rest of our lives.
She says these incidents aren't just an attack on her and Smith, but an attack on community.
We worked hard to be here. We continue to work hard for our responsibilities, for our departments, for our communities, for our relatives, and no amount of attacks will ever push us out of this.
Jonsa, APTN National News, Winnipeg.